All right, hello. Turn that down. It looks a little bit brighter than I thought it was. How's everyone doing? Hope you guys are all having an excellent weekend so far. An excellent Saturday, all that good stuff. Back for yet another night, continuing on with this HG Zowort Heavy. It's been a great build so far. Looking forward to doing the legs and seeing how far we get on the stream tonight. Also giving away an RG Exia tonight, so stay tuned for the details on that. And what else? I'm going to jump to the chat, say hello. I think too dim now. This thing would just maintain its settings from one day to the next and not require me to reset them. It's probably better. I should write them down, really. That would be smart of me. And then I wouldn't have an issue. I'm going to jump into the chat, say hello, and all that good stuff. Before I do, a couple quick things before I forget. Number one, if you enjoy these streams, do please hit that like button. It helps other people find the stream, which is a good thing. Help build this awesome community we have here. And number two, it's Memorial Day weekend. We are doing a Memorial Day weekend sale. You can save 15% on all in-stock items with code MEMDAY25. Screenshot and put it on as your desktop background. Yeah, that can only go right, you know, no problems there. Be talking to myself for hours, not realizing the stream hasn't started. All right, jumping into the chat. What's up, Dylan Dull, Orby Squad, Timothy? What's up, John Ventura, Wolfpack, Miguel Santos, Rob Rosencrantz, Lord Kronos, Maverick Entity, Go Zero, Joseph Mezzagallia. What's up, Sergeant McGruff, Baka ZCO, Matthew Mahoney. Build that. Everyone working on my PG Banshee Norn. Finishing the backpack, then on the weapons. Awesome. The Crixler, Butterknuckles, Jason S, Rob Sadler. What's up, Mark D? Big deal. How are you? It's everybody. What's everybody up to? You guys building along tonight or something else? All right. C27 and 29. Hope everybody's enjoying the long weekend, especially kind of long weekend for me personally. I get every other Friday off from the day job, and this Friday was one such day, so trying to make a 4-day weekend out of it as much as I can. Got the MG Advanced Hazel finish yesterday, so I'm going to start the MG New Gun for Ka. I won here a few months ago. Awesome. The Gami Device Buster Doll Gunner today. Cool. Playing the old Armored Core games. I haven't played anything Armored Core 27 and 29. Whoops. Lame. Okay. That's how tonight's gonna go. Okay. Priming parts for my first Master Grade Custom SNAA's Fire Lord. Cool. Camping, sitting in front of the campfire, watching the loons on the lake, and you build. It's like juxtaposition of nature and all that good stuff, and then my ugly mug over here. Ankle surgery last week, so it's been like an 11-day weekend for me. Hope you're taking advantage of that to rest up and enjoy yourself. A commission piece for a local hobby store. Cool. I'm not sure how long we'll be chatting. Might fall asleep at any moment. I know how that goes. I can't stay for the stream. I'm just going to pop and say hi and hit the like button. Good luck with your builds. Thanks for stopping by, MZ. Wonder, suppose this could be a weekend we would see less people pop in than normal. As people might be traveling or otherwise have plans with the holiday weekend. Back surgery yesterday. He's home and doing much better, and I'm staying with him to help him with whatever he needs. It's good on you. Back surgery's no joke. Came from Tampa vacationing for my birthday. Nice. Second airbrush kit, first time using Gaia Notes. How you been liking the paint so far? What's up, Web C? How are you? I've heard good things about Gaia in general. It's worked fast, or something as soon as you posted your Memorial Day sale and it was shipped the same day. Well, you probably got in there right at the beginning. We were pretty caught up going into the sale. I have a feeling this week we're going to be a little bit behind for at least a few days, being closed on Monday and stuff. Thanks to the sub, Carlos. Yeah, being closed on Monday for Memorial Day means that we'll have one more day's worth of orders before we start packing for the weekend stuff, and then a short week. So hopefully it doesn't cause too many problems. Those are here last week and got to kick up my girlfriend's names for my kids. She wants me to ask you all for a list. Guy Notes, good to hear. What's up, Nick and the Mecha Gang? Hey, Lee's Creative Art. Doing well, been winning Gumball competitions, but to start another big one in June. Cool. Alright, C31 and 36. Speaking of Gaia, we got some Gaia in with our restock yesterday. Overall, my weekends so far, mostly just trying to get caught up with stuff. I feel like I did a pretty good job of knocking off some stuff yesterday and today. Super frustrating part though, I'm trying to reduce how much stuff we have in storage. We're going to be eliminating one of our 2 storage units we got after the move for some of the extra stuff, and we will successfully be able to get rid of the second one. But I had 4 appointments between yesterday and today for pickups for people buying stuff on Marketplace. Trying to get rid of some of our adjustable height tables and some of the adjustable shelving that we have used. And of those 4 appointments, 3 fell through and canceled at the last minute or had change of plans and couldn't come and are supposedly going to reschedule. And the 4th one showed up but only took a third of what they said they were going to take. So, thankfully, the time I spent heading over there to do that wasn't a total waste, because I got things reorganized in the storage units. But nothing quite so frustrating as planning your day around trying to meet somebody for something like that, to have them bail at the last minute while you're already over there. This marketplace is full of savages. I guess so. My first handful for some of the other stuff all worked out super well. No issues at all. I don't know if it's because that the people buying that stuff were clearly business owners or something. You know, there are things that most people don't need for their house, whereas everybody else seems to be just random people buying, you know, stuff for their garage or whatever. But the first handful of interactions were great. Had interesting conversations with other entrepreneurs in the area. Started people planning a party and no one shows up. Yeah, it's rough. Wouldn't mind if I did have to go somewhere, but it's like a half hour to drive over to where the storage unit is. It's just, you know, a couple minutes from the warehouse, so stop by the warehouse each time and shuttled some stuff over, reorganized the units, so I made the most of my time over there. But I could have done everything I did yesterday, today. You know, and just made it one trip. Shaved off an hour of driving this weekend. Hey Artie, what's up? So whatever, I guess it comes to the territory, and I managed to reorganize, so that's good. Get some more space, everything condensed to one unit, so I can get rid of that second unit, save over $200 a month in storage unit fees. So that's a good thing, I think. Hoping the extra day with the long weekend means I can spend at least an afternoon one of these days, maybe Monday, at the spray booth again. I feel like I've been so busy the last few days or so. Last few weeks. Too much going on. Seen something about a new thinner God hand. Is there a new one coming out? I haven't heard anything, but I'm not exactly paying the closest attention. Probably don't have it available for order. I feel like Kate would have said something to me if she noticed a new God hand product available for order. Like my allergies have been absolutely brutal the last few weeks. Have moments where everything's fine, and then moments when everything is definitely not. This hazel turned out pretty nice. Did all the accent paint, panel line, water slides, and matte clear coat. That's cool. Is that the master grade, or is that a high grade? Hey, Esquizoida, what's up? MG. That's cool. Greetings and tips to erasing to a panel liner. Use alcohol on the Q-tip. Doesn't seem to work well. Any recommendations for us? Welcome, Gur. I believe you want an enamel thinner. Some people use lighter fluid, I think, is effectively an enamel thinner, or you can find a more purpose-built enamel thinner. And that's supposed to be what works. I've never used the product myself, but that's what I've seen. E5. You ever mess with LEDs and kits? I have. I've done, I think I've only done LEDs in one kit. When I did my Tama2 judges build for our first redacted contest, I put some LEDs in the headlights and in the eyes. It's pretty cool. Trying to record my entire build on this. Started on Tuesday, almost done. Doing the LEDs for it too. Nice. Here we use, I'm not going to mention the name of the brand, airbrushes. I don't want to get into specifics, but there's a lot of controversy around that brand and some rumors about who they might actually be, and you might want to research that stuff if you're contemplating making a purchase. I'll leave it at that. Or heard about it, I'll have to do some research. I definitely would. I mean, if you still want to purchase afterwards, that's on you and whatever, but I don't want to directly down talk a brand per se, which is why I'm not mentioning their name, but I know it's a heated topic for people that are in the know on that. Okay, C38 and 42. One of these days, I want to start thinking to put the remote for the mini split over on my desk here, so when it's hotter or colder than I expect it to be, I can adjust things without getting up. This is starting to feel a little bit warm. I feel like it's been really cold all week here, to the point where I turned the heat on up here when I was working from home earlier in the week. Because the rest of the house is freezing. And Kate kind of refused to turn on the heat anywhere else in the house, even though we theoretically can. You know, we're switched to AC for the summer now. We're not putting it back. It's like, okay. What's up, Blast Rebuilds? Anybody doing anything fun this weekend with the holiday weekend and such? One more time this week to build since I was off all week. What's nice? I could really use a week off myself. I'm need to catch up on stuff still. It's like nothing the most fun there is elder age. Start back my Fortune resin kit in a few days. Cool. How's that kit? I think I've seen some shots of a few different resin kits, or at least one. C35. 4. It's awesome. It's on the new Gundam. It's busy, but my favorite MS. I have a lot of versions. That's cool. Is it a conversion kit or is it a like a full kit? I don't normally have any days off together, so we plan to do some hiking on Monday. That's cool. We're hoping to do a little bit of hiking tomorrow. I think it's going to be the one good day weather-wise this weekend for us here. Probably just something relatively short. We're trying to build the kids up so we can maybe eventually do a much longer hike. Unfortunately, it was due to torn rib muscles. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd rather work than have torn rib muscles. I think I bruised a rib one time real bad. Had it bruised, maybe is a better, more accurate way of putting it. Someone bruised it for me. And it was an unpleasant month recovering, so definitely not my favorite thing in the world for a cause today, so that's cool. Maybe MG Sinji today, probably more of that tomorrow. And a mountain bike ride, that's cool. Getting that back on the Banshee Norn was too much work. I was just spending $500 on a resin kit. Now I want to talk my wife into a 650 PG new. Well, you've had the practice, I guess, so. It's definitely not fun. I would believe it. A fighting injury back in the day, and it definitely impacted me for a while. It was not pleasant. This 50% off sale is going to come in big. Fat PG, who knew? Yeah, the problem is I don't know. It might be a little while before we have any in stock coincident with the sale, because it's going to be a risky one to stock up on because of the price. It's going to be a lot of money tied up if they sit. So I know that they're going to be popular and probably always move at some level or another, but that price tag is going to scare a lot of people away or make them hesitant. So we're probably going to be relatively conservative with our order when it's time to place it, knowing that we'll probably be able to get more indefinitely, like the PGU RX-78 right now. And so it might be a little while depending on how that goes. It's hard to predict. It's really priced out most casuals. Yeah, it's definitely at $600 range. It's definitely not a whim purchase for nearly anybody. Not that a PG normally is kind of an on a whim purchase for anybody at $300 or $200 something dollars, but it's a lot easier to spend $200 or $300 like by mistake or rashly than it is to spend $600. So it'll be interesting. The price, but the design scared me off. Oh really? What about the design? They're gonna re-release the Zaku 2, the PG Zaku 2. I think we've seen it a handful of times in the last like year. What do you think it cost to make? I don't know. I don't know what the their ratio is. I have to assume actual manufacturing cost is probably like a third of the retail price, because they need to make their money, and retailers and distributors need to make money too. But it's hard to say. More complicated, especially the shoulders and skirts. Interesting. Oh, the MG. Yeah, it'll probably get reprinted. Alright, so let's do our first draw of the night here. And we're going to do a number from, let's see, 10 to 750. And what's your favorite cookout food? And I think cookouts, barbecues are pretty common Memorial Day weekend, right? Your first good cookout weekend of the year usually. 10 to 750. What's your favorite cookout food? Remember, one number per person. Do not delete or change your number. We only ship to U.S. addresses. You must be present to win, and your answer to the question and the number have to be in the same comment for every valid entry. 10 to 750. And what's your favorite cookout food? I see brats. I need to do brats. I'm looking forward to grilling this year. Don't know if I can get one 5 times the fun out of building that PG versus 5 times MGs. Went to the PG Exia with an aftermarket light kit. It was a project watching him while I was working on the PG Freedom. I'm actually kind of bummed I'm not grilling this weekend. Our grill that we've had for about 15 years is we've kind of decided it's done, and we got a new grill on the way. It's supposed to arrive this coming week actually, which I'm really excited for. Debated, hemmed and hawed a little bit about potentially trying to just recover the one we have, you know, get some new grates and replace a few parts. But it's being 15 years old, we're wondering if we put a bunch of money into it that the next thing will go, so decided it was time. B7. I think you got your money's worth. Yeah, we definitely did. And considering it was a gift, father-in-law bought it for us as like a housewarming present when we bought our house. It was just a cheap charbroil from Home Depot. I'm kind of surprised it's lasted as long as it has. I know we've replaced, I think, the grates at least once or twice, and I think some other stuff too. I think the trough thing we did too, so we've definitely gotten, I think, more than we typically do out of charbroil. That's an electric smoker. I don't really smoke stuff, so I don't know. I don't know if we get enough use out of it. Smoking food is like a time investment. The old grill, the tannerite sent off. Yeah, I don't know where I would do that. I feel like doing that to a grill would be very dangerous as well. Have to get a Blackstone. I've seen videos of those because I've been, you know, searching for stuff, and those are kind of cool. I kind of want to get like a griddle type accessory for the one we're getting, because kind of came up when I was doing my research. And I want to make omelets like they used to make at the cafeteria when I was in college. They're the best omelets ever, and they were made on one of those kind of griddle top grill type things. I've got one years back, used it like twice. It just sticks it most on one side of the garage. I feel like it's definitely a more specialized thing. That's why I'm thinking those like griddle accessory things that you can drop on top of a grill, rather than a dedicated thing, because I don't think it would get enough use. I'm worried about the storage, storing it and figuring that out though. I could use a small household griddles. They have like 2 to 4 of. Gotcha. Grilled anything at a taco is the business. Grill lasts as long as you take care of it. My grill had a solid 10 years. My current grill is from 2020 and looks brand new. I'm definitely gonna do all the stuff I should have done with the other grill. I don't think I took as good a care of it as I should have, so 15 years was especially crazy. Guess I got lucky, but I'm gonna use this fresh start to make sure I do the maintenance I should have done with the other grill. It's a much nicer grill too, so hopefully it should last a long time if I take care of it. Make some videos with it. I think I'm making stuff last as long as possible. My car is from 2007. Not bad. My truck's 2010. I think leaning towards getting another car and keeping the truck when I have the savings to do so. But I buy Kate in the vehicle first, though. I think her car is getting a little small with the growing family. Girls from 2012 is rough. Tennis place, I can still use it, but I need to replace some metal bits at some point. It's kind of where we're at, that we could replace a bunch of stuff on the grill that we have. Probably get a few more years out of it if I bought new grates and all that stuff, but with my luck I would pour that money into it and the burners would go, or something a little bit less easily replaced. Some GOG figures of spring cleaning code. You know if they'll ever release an Amuro figure with the pilot suit? I have no idea. We did also buy a minivan this year. It's a game changer with 3 kids. Yeah, we need... Kate doesn't want a minivan. We might have to look at some. See if anyone makes an all-wheel drive minivan, because we need all-wheel drive with our driveway in the winter. But failing that, we need like a 3rd row SUV or something at some point. Because the little, like... what they call it, mini SUV. We've got a Rogue, is what she drives. It's a good vehicle, but fitting 3 in the back is a little snug. Probably easier and better just by new. We have a 07 Trailblazer that has 233,000 on it, about to be my son's first. Nice. My Tacoma's, I think, getting close. How much is it? I think it's over 200. Not quite there, but pretty close. I do a lot of miles. Wife was hesitant in the minivan at first, now she freaking loves it. Third row that folds and extra trunk space is incredible. Sienna is available all-wheel drive. I'll make her test drive one when we're ready to do that. But she was very adamant years ago that she never wanted to drive a minivan. My first car was a minivan, so I have had the experience. Jetson car by now, food with drop pods for the kids on the way to school. That'd be convenient. Minivan, I call it the battle barge. So the Sequoia is the largest SUV with third row and all-wheel drive available. Did you get an electric vehicle? I'd entertain it, but I think most of the electric vehicles have quite the premium. Especially an all-electric vehicle, like Kate's vehicle especially is the one to fit all the kids, and the one that we would be taking on family vacations and the like. And as such, not having the limited range that comes with most electric vehicles, I'd rather not have to coordinate stops for recharges and stuff like that for long trips. Hey Rodrigo, what's up? Second full-size SUV for the added ground clearance. So got a Subaru Forester, which is a nice vehicle for handling New England weather. Fit all three kids, but the room in the minivan is next level. Okay, your build, especially the box art, just too cool. It's been a fun one. All right, let's call time and draw a winner. What was the question? Question was favorite cookout food. 336. I don't see a 336. I'll let you guys confirm if that's the case. We'll draw again a little bit. B6. No winners. Gotcha. We'll draw again in a little bit. Say what? My Trailblazers pulled more dead trucks in the shop. Was the drag car's tow vehicle for years. there's no maintenance aspect. I think they still have maintenance for a electric vehicle. I don't know, the idea of needing to replace batteries eventually freaks me out, because that's got to be super expensive, and I feel like every cell phone I've had, you know, degrades. The batteries get kind of crappy over the years, so the same situation with a vehicle. It's essentially a giant bank of expensive batteries. Just seems, I don't know, it's uncomfortable to me. They charge you to probably get rid of the old battery, and at what cost? Yeah, I feel like they're too new. They're cool. I mean, I've ridden a Tesla a year or so ago, maybe. And it was neat. There were some cool aspects to it. But I can't see owning one. Not until it's been around longer to have more of the issues worked out. Consider opening a YouTube channel membership with exclusive content for your followers. I've definitely considered it. Right now, especially where we're not putting out that much content in general, doesn't seem super plausible. I've been sitting on footage from my ODO trip back in February for months now, not able to edit it. So I just don't have the time to do it myself. And if I had somebody already doing it, I could see doing it to help subsidize the cost of keeping someone on payroll to do it, but it's probably not happening anytime in the near future. Let's see, the text won't get better though. Yeah, I feel like in like 5 years I could see being more likely to do it. You'll have more of those vehicles lived out their lives and a better idea of what happens at the end and what those replacements and all that kind of stuff look like. I'm a GM EV Master Tech. The bulk battery is around 15K just for the battery, and the new stuff is outrageous, I bet. That's a lot to put into a vehicle all at once when you need to. You know, it's a really hard decision at that point. Do you just replace the vehicle, or do you replace the batteries and try to get however many more years out of it? Difference is cell phone batteries charged to 100%, later discharged to 0%, while car batteries basically only last 70 and go down to 20 to keep battery health high. I know they're doing more management of it, but they're still going to have degradation over time. Manufacturing alone, EV batteries do more harm to the environment than good. Yeah, there's that, and there's also the fact that a lot of the chemical components come from really shady sources. I don't think a lot of people take that into account, but a lot of abuse, near slave labor, and whatever other kind of stuff goes into making those batteries, and that's not the greatest thing. Still working the other full-time job too? I am. That's consuming a lot of my time. Trying to work full-time job. Still got the dojo, still got the warehouse, still got the family. 23 and 25. And that'll actually be kind of changing up soon. I think I mentioned it last week. I accepted another job recently. I can't start for potentially some months because it's a sister company of where I'm working now, and they kind of negotiated amongst themselves that they need me until the finish of the product launch for the product we're working on right now. unless they find somebody first. So music volume keeps going up and down. That's weird. Let's see. When the car just stops charging, I had to buy a new battery for a Dyson vacuum at 150, and that alone pissed my wife off. Imagine replacing a car battery. And say raw materials out of China. That's saying raw materials out of China. A lot of them, Robert, are there's a lot of stuff mined in Africa. I think cobalt and lithium. There's a lot of it coming out of there, and a lot of it's mined by people that are essentially doing it by hand, suffering all sorts of weird consequences health-wise. A lot of risk. People dying in cave-ins and stuff like that. If you look it up, you'll never want to buy that stuff again. It's unfortunately like the main place this stuff comes from, though. There's no such thing as like ethically sourced cobalt or whatever. At least not in any sort of real volume. So hopefully somebody at some point solves that problem, because it's not a great thing. Let's see about looking up doing the LEDs for the guns. So I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Until the electric car market is more than the established brands. Say to Honda, the big three. Get a good battery market viability where they can be recycled, not detriment before 10 years. Oh no, but lithium is mostly China. Yeah, at some point I think it'll make sense. I think anybody who's doing it for the environment is discounting a lot of things. The mining of those things is not great for the environment either. And at some point it likely will balance out. But it's not quite there yet. In a lot of ways, I just want my stupid, simple gas vehicle, my 2010 Toyota Tacoma. Yeah, good example of that. You know, no fancy electronics, barely has a stereo, but a lot of things that aren't there to break down. As the battery can't be recycled, disposed. It isn't carbon neutral. It's been used for 10 years. Average life expectancy is 4 years. Yeah, it's not a great combo. When they figure it out, it'll probably be great, but in the meantime, get a Honda gas engine for life for me. Yeah, I mean my truck will probably last forever. That's why I'm probably not gonna replace it so much as sideline it for dump runs and other stuff, and then get another car for my daily driver at some point. Got a frame swap a few years back because of the recall, so that thing's gonna be good to go for some time. Does not help the environment. Manufacture process batteries along puts more than the typical line for 8 years, and unlike traditional engines, once battery dies. As long as you have a place for Taco Bell, what else do you really need in the vehicle? It's true. Folks don't know that oil is not a rare fossil fuel. It's actually abundant. Price were arbitrarily set. So 93 Impreza runs great still. Only 200,000 miles. Nice. Most of the public we want. Most of the public we want simple cars and trucks back, and the big makers are just starting to notice. Yeah, I'd like to go back, like be able to get a vehicle that doesn't have all that fancy stuff in it. I understand that there are people that do want it, and for the right kind of vehicle, I could see having all that stuff. But there's a part of me that wants to buy a multi-fuel, was it M35 surplus, 2.5 ton truck that will run on just about any liquid that burns and has nearly no electronics in it. Recommend suggested oils abundant. Also more fan of older cars. Nick, what's the best customization setup you would recommend to improve a kit? Airbrush painting, water decals, panel lines, kit bashing. I would say in terms of like priorities, airbrushing should be very early on the list, because if you can paint a kit, that goes a long way to making it either look better or customizing it to a different color scheme. And for a lot of the other stuff, kit bashing, etc., if you want it to look good, you need to paint it after you do that. To have a truly carbon neutral vehicle, I know we have to cut our teeth to get there. It's made a washer market. No one wants the fear of being brushing all super calming in general to me. I don't know, I get frustrated at brushing sometimes. Those days are not very calming. When everything's going well, I really enjoy it though. If I get a mix wrong, or it's too humid, or something's gummed up because I didn't clean it right, or any of those kind of things, I get really kind of angry. Buying nose off's con for me. Maybe the masking can get tedious. Masking can definitely be tedious, depending on what you're masking and how much of it you're doing. You don't ventilate properly, it's very, very calming. Yes, that's one way to do it. Did I grab the wrong piece here? I think I grabbed the wrong piece. It's 28, I really needed 26. We want to start airbrushing, but it's hard to bring the model kit brand paints to Ecuador because most of them are flammable or weird chemicals and stuff. Look into Vallejo Mecha, Mecha Color. Their paint is non-toxic, so you can beat a lot of the shipping restrictions on it. What's something that can run anything? Get an old Ram 2500 or pre-2010 to Tacoma. Actually, before I do the nubs on that, hey, what's up, George? How are you? All right, number range. Well, the brew 30% gas and 70% vodka. I think that's logged in the feature. Really? I feel like feeding vodka to your truck is probably a very expensive way to run it. I don't drink, so I don't buy vodka very often, but I feel like vodka has to be more expensive than gasoline per gallon. All right, where was it going with this? Soviet Russian vehicle. Drink drives you. That's like the appeal for like the multi-fuel, like surplus military, 6-wheel drive, whatever trucks, is you could theoretically run them on whatever. People convert them to use sort of like biodiesel and stuff, but I think you could theoretically you know, film full alcohol, they'll run. I still remember when I accidentally, well, I guess it wasn't an accident, it happened to me. I put gas that had water in it in my Tacoma, and that caused all sorts of problems. It was not fun. Not fun at all. Why am I blanking? What's the name of those airbrush paints again? Vallejo Mecha Color. That's what I paint with because they're non-toxic. So to paint in the house with kids in the house, I feel relatively good about it. So this is episode 1 for you, 1 for me, right? Drawing a complete blank on questions. Okay, I got one. So next, draw off this RG Exia. Let's do a number between 10 and 400. And what is your favorite grade? 10 to 400. What is your favorite grade of Gundam kit? Bandai kit, I guess. Number 1, number per person. Do not delete or change your number. We only ship to US addresses. You must be present to win. And your answer to the question and the number have to be in the same comment for it to be valid entry. 10 to 400. What is your favorite grade? Does any of the paints in stock or lacquer? I wanted to get some for some reverse washing jobs and inner frame paint jobs. Mr. Color is lacquer. Tamiya is a like a lacquer-based acrylic. Splash paint is lacquer. Gaia is lacquer, I believe. Most of them are actually lacquers that we carry. Lacquer is pretty common, especially for Gunpla lacquer. It seems to be the go-to. We're gonna unicorn full armor Roka. That boy's gonna demand some shelf acreage. These lacquers, more reason why I want a paste spray booth as well. Yeah, lacquers are definitely more risk in terms of toxicity and stuff. From what I've seen though, they're really durable when they're on there. I can't imagine doing a resin kit with anything else. Yeah, I mean, resin's got its own toxicity issues, right? Sanding resin is kind of dangerous too. You don't want to breathe that stuff in. Some acrylics last time, but my airbrush wouldn't spray it. I don't know if it was just a matter of a little thinner or what. I think they're more finicky in a lot of ways. You say you couldn't spray it, did it not come out at all? These 3M mask and gloves, etc. The grade doesn't tick off my significant other, or I can pull off MGs. Why would a grade tick off your significant other? You know, like PGs are too big or something? Too expensive? Or is it something else? Really came out, felt I had thinned it well, not sure. Interesting. Could be. He managed to stay talking in the camera. I'm trying to record videos to start some Gunpla review videos, and I can't talk naturally or not feeling too awkward while trying to. I mean, so you look at the lens, and ideally, and you go. I don't know. It's a practice thing. I feel like if you look at my older videos, it was probably a lot more awkward than it is now. Although, actually, maybe not right now. Now is probably more awkward than a few years ago, because I haven't been doing anywhere near as much video, but practice definitely helps. In some ways, it was both easier and harder at times when I had somebody as my video person, right? Because you could kind of talk to them, but it's also slightly awkward because every slip up, every whatever, you're doing it right to another person. You can't just show them the finished, clean product. Okay, that was 28. I needed 17. Correct. Some people put a little action figure or picture someone just off the camera lens. Oh, it's an interesting idea. I think if you just do it enough times, it'll get better. If you want to get better and not have that show up on camera, then just film yourself, like just talk to the camera for a few hours, you know, take a few weeks and do like 10 minutes here and there and just, I don't know, tell the camera about your day or something and throw the footage away, but just practice it till it feels less awkward. So try the editing, hope that filming oneself. At some point I need to figure out, I don't know if I'll be in a place to, I don't know, find a remote video editor again or something like I did back at the beginning so I can do more videos or something. I don't know. Editing's time consuming. Okay, so these two go together, and then they go on, click. Okay, almost there. I need one more piece, and then that leg is done. Sounds like kids need a new chore to do, video editing. Probably not yet. Alright, I'm going to call time in just a moment. Probably good at it. Probably. I think my oldest was wanting video editing software. I forget if I actually got it for him. I think he was going to put something on his tablet or something. I'm not sure if he ever did. Okay, calling time. Time has been called. Probably love it. I think so. mean, it's a decent skill to have. Okay, 10 to 400, 170. I don't see a 170. I'll let you guys confirm. If that's the case, we'll draw again in a little bit. Okay, B4. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like I've debated whether to go back and do a lot more video stuff. We have a pretty good library of videos that we've made in the past, and I don't know that us not publishing new videos as of late really made a difference, or is making a difference. At some point it might, or if you have enough new videos coming out, but I don't think the cost per video when we were producing videos weekly really equated to enough sales to make up for that. It's hard to say. There's no easy way to directly correlate that stuff. What number? 79, awesome. 170. All the Mecha Warehouse videos I've seen, but I can see it not being super ROI positive time-wise. I think it theoretically could be. It's got to be the right stuff and whatever. And you look at even like, I think the PG video that Ethan put together, I think is our biggest video of all time. And you look at the, in terms of the video itself, the ad revenue, because that video had ads enabled, I don't think comes close to covering the cost of the time that went into production of it. I don't know. I think we dropped the ball a little bit on calls to action to try to use it to convert people sales-wise. And I don't know that it generated a whole bunch of sales. It could have. We'll probably never know. But it's not like we published the video and then all of a sudden started selling twice as much, or even a noticeable increase in sales. So I think that kind of content is potentially what would perform the best going forward. But those are not cheap videos to make in terms of prep time and editing and all that kind of stuff. They're definitely the more complicated and energy consuming. If I had nothing but time, if I wasn't working, full time, and I could spend, 20 hours of my own time doing it a week and enjoyed it and stuff, then it'd be a little bit different. But if I gotta pay somebody else to do it, there was not a hidden subliminal message to build a backlog in videos. Not as much as there should have been. All right. I really like this green color. Do it for free, just send me the PG kits. Yeah, but see, that's where the cost is. It probably costs as much or more than a PG kit to produce a video. If you figure you're paying somebody a reasonable wage, even if it's less because they're part-time or, you know, kind of doing it for the employee discount and whatever, you're still paying, you know, a minimum reasonable wage, and multiply that by 20 to 40 hours for a video that has to be researched in depth like that. It's not cheap. So you're saying paying a PG kit is cheaper trade? It might be cheaper, but it's not cheap enough. If you gotta pay taxes, if you're paying a couple of kits, you would have to pay taxes. That is part of what led to some complexity when we were sponsoring builders. Is you gotta be really careful how you structure that. Right? If you were to do an affiliate thing, say, oh, you're gonna get, you know, whatever percentage of sales that come through your code. Well, it looks a lot like you're paying somebody in kits, and then they got to pay taxes on it. You got to report it. It's more complicated than just, like, it's just easier just to pay people. Same thing with gift cards. You can't just give people gift cards. Because it's basically the same thing as paying somebody. That's potentially more of a headache in terms of reporting and taxes. Most people in the chat paint their kits. I bet you like 50-50-ish. The guys new to the hobby. How does it work for old kits? We're gonna make them, or if they're too old, I just missed them. Both. Kits are produced in batches, so you will see kits from many years ago get reprinted, and you will see kits from many years ago just not get reprinted. You can never really tell when the next reprint will be. There's kits that have had 0 reprints or 1 reprint. There's kits that have been reprinted, you know, twice a year for the last 10 years. Showing my 10-year-old nephew cool stuff, but giving him his first model kit last Christmas has been by far the best I've done to be cool, uncle. That's cool. We're talking about a tax structure as a method for reporting earnings through theft. Earnings through theft? You can report earnings that you stole? What? So you'll wait for the MGVO to reprint in July. That'll be interesting. Yes, you can. That is hilarious. Not just can, you're required to. That's why you should never steal stuff, because you have to report it to the government. Only because they don't like competition. That checks out. Currently waiting for RG Evo 308 DX. It's a bird soup. Afraid they'll never be reprinted because the Evangelion movies ended. No, I bet they'll be reprinted. They gotta cycle through stuff because they keep reprinting the same stuff over and over again and stop selling because everybody has it. What's up, Mr. Trash Can Bob? I mentioned I'm really liking this green color. The nub on that side. Wonder if Bandai are aware of the business model issues. What do you mean? B5. I would like to get some older MGs like the Jim Quell, Jim Custom, and Super Gundam. Is there a separate Super Gundam MG? They don't print enough stock and it generates crazy reselling prices sometimes. A lot of that stuff has resolved itself though. I think a lot of those issues were COVID related. I think it's the nature of the beast, and I don't think, technically speaking, having shortages like that are a benefit. Like, that's a lot of businesses that produce stuff is based on the idea that you underproduce. Right, because that scarcity means the product moves faster and is better for the bottom line. There's a... I forget what the name of the book was. There's a book all about it, like a business book or whatever, that talks really intelligently about the subject. But like, as an example, if you run a restaurant and you have enough dining room to never have anybody waiting in line, then you got a problem. It's not as efficient. You're paying money for this extra space that you're not using, and the lack of a line makes the restaurant not seem as good as it could. You're better off having a waiting list and a line out the door and not be able to serve everybody. It sucks for people that want it, but that artificial increase in demand lets you charge more, gives you more stability, because if you lose a little bit of demand, you still have excess demand and you're not left holding the bag. When will the giveaway be revealed? We've done multiple drawings now. It'll be revealed. The winner will be revealed when someone guesses the right number on one of these draws. Heading out early tonight. Good luck, y'all. Good luck, all. See you later, Matthew. Let's draw here. Small auto repair garage. You almost never do same day appointments, even if there's an opening. Artificial demand works. That's funny that even if there's an opening, you feel like you would, you know, fit it in when you can. But I mean, I guess that gets people thinking ahead of time and probably helps in the long run. What's the sander you're using? So I got the Razor Origin. This is the Sand Loop Flex and balancers, all from Gun Primer. If you have any Grail, I have a few like grades: HG Moon Gundam, MG Deep Striker, EXS PG Exia. I think the only kit I'd consider a Grail kit right now is the, I always forget the name of it. Gundam. Attack makes me laugh sometimes myself. It's interesting. 61. The M61 tank, I think. It's a hard graph kit. So by design, I see the scarcity is healthy for the business. Makes sense. I guess the 90s spoiled me. I remember when you could go to any toy store and everything had excess stock. Yeah, they want enough that you can get the stuff most of the time, but enough scarcity people buy stuff when they can, and it's better to underproduce and overproduce, generally speaking. Because overproduced product, then you got to eventually liquidate somehow. It's not ideal. All right, let's go with that as a question, actually. So let's do a number from 10 to 200, and what is your current Grail kit? 10 to 200, what is your current Grail kit? Remember, one number per person. Do not delete or change your number. We only ship to US addresses. You must be present to win, and your answer to the question and the number have to be the same comments for the valid entry. 10 to 200, and what is your current Grail kit? If it has a problem, scalpers buying up everything. Yeah, but does that even happen anymore? I feel like that went away when things caught up. During COVID in the last few years, it's been a big issue, but I don't think people are scalping anywhere near as much as they used to. Bandai is always going to attract some of that because they're not produced as frequently. But I think with things catching up, they're much less likely to sell out of stuff, except for a few specific things, maybe. Because Peeps does not have botting scalping problems since Neo Zeo. Yeah, I feel like it's gotten a lot better. There might be a few specific examples where it occurs, but generally speaking, it's not really an issue anymore. I know we stopped seeing scalping orders. There was definitely a period where we were getting lots of orders for large quantities of single SKUs because people were scalping, reselling, etc. And now that things have caught up, it's not really an issue. begs the question, what is your current Grail kit? eBay, 2 minutes after the pre-order closes, there is time for double the pre-order price. But people don't need to. So like, be sure you could buy it after the fact if you don't know about P Bandai and how it works, and didn't buy it when you could have bought it directly. But it's not like things were a couple years ago where they would sell out in 10 minutes or less because the scalpers were buying them all up. People will definitely buy and resell them and take advantage of people not knowing, etc. But if you're even mildly educated, it's not too bad. C34. All right. Let's call time. It's sneaking in there. Okay, 10 to 200, 99. In case that will sell out in seconds. There's probably a few, but in general, it's not anywhere near as bad as it used to be. I don't see a winner. I'll let you guys confirm if that's the case. We'll be doing one more draw before the end of the stream here. Can't buy PPNI because they ask for a US number to send a text message to verify your account. I think there's probably a way to get a US forwarded number, isn't there? Does Google Voice work if you're not in the US? Can you get a US Google Voice number? If not, there's probably another service. You might have to pay for it. It's another thing I think we're going to be doing soon too, is potentially finding a new cell phone provider for your app like TextNow. Thinking of switching from Verizon to maybe one of the MVNOs and whatever they are, one of those secondary providers. It's a lot less expensive. Realized how much we could save. I think we were looking at adding a line for my son potentially, and it was still going to be like less than half the price of what we're paying now, even with an extra line. Okay, B7, 823. Anybody use any of those cheaper phone carriers? Thinking like Mint and I don't know, there's a bunch of them. Boost and Mint Mobile, Boost Mobile, drawing a blank on the other ones. There's a bunch of them. The Metro PCS, and it was fun. Did you switch to back out of that to a major carrier again, or? Might be a way to bypass off the US number thing. I just haven't looked for a solution because it's a hassle. T-Mobile when with my ex contract now. Gotcha. Use T-Mobile prepaid, which is pretty cheap. We like it. Friends like their Mint Mobile. Seems like there's a lot of money to be saved. So I don't know. So that I did the research. I'll figure out exactly what to do with it for a phone for my son too. My oldest is 11, 12 later this year, and he's going into middle school next year. So we're thinking it might be a decent idea to get him something. We gotta figure out how to secure it or whatever so he doesn't get into too much trouble. Gotta get the classic flip phone then for him. Thinking about that as an option. I've heard like if you get an Android phone, you can use Family Link or whatever and put restrictions on app usage and stuff like that, which is what we use for his Chromebook or whatever now too. Drew that Mecha Warehouse robot. I've done a kit bash to try and replicate it. So the original artwork, the original version of the logo was done by an artist on Fiverr way back in the day. The expanded version was done by Nickel Models. Nickel Prade down in Virginia. He's done a lot of artwork for us. He has a list of like what different parts were inspired by, which would be super useful if you wanted a kit bash. But I have not attempted it. when I didn't get one until college. I didn't have a smartphone until I was several years out of college. I remember going on a business trip and getting a iPod or something distributed as part of this conference I went to that had like your schedule and all that kind of stuff with. That was like my first real time having a smart device like that. It was like before everybody had smartphones. Artist, if I were now to use AI, well, that wasn't the case back when I was doing it. Man, I should just become a Fiverr artist and use AI. That could just be a job. You could do so many jobs for so cheap, take you next to no time. You can't commission someone to design a 100 kit, the logo, Mecha. Yeah, I wish. Kotobukiya, I think you can. I think we'll do kits for you. I've seen stuff about it. I've never talked to anybody about it, but I think it's probably very expensive. You're probably going to make a lot of them. I don't think we would sell enough to make something like that worth it. As awesome as that would be. Use AI to make art so we can spend more time working. Should be the way around. Oh, speaking of AI and problems, did anybody see? There's a headline I came across the other day. I looked at the article too. Some companies, large language model AI, they did an experiment. They set it up in an environment where it had access to fictional company emails, including some that had the lead engineer and the project having an affair or something like that, and the other emails were threatening to shut down the AI, and the AI tried to blackmail the lead engineer or something like that to try to keep itself existing. It has a down phone to the point where I think my folks used holiday console gifts as hostage until I accepted a smartphone later on. Wow. You to get forced to take it? That's crazy. Would never build a 711 ARC 78 kit? No, but I have two of them. I've got the two different colorways. Oh, it sounds accurate. I hate AI. It makes me want unreasonably large caliber firearms when the robots rise up. You know, you need a 50 cal or something just in case, because I don't know what else you'd use against a Terminator. All the humans, we make them so they're gonna inherit our flaws. Alright, so got one more draw tonight. I want to ask a question about when the robots rise up, but I'm not sure. Oh, I know what we'll do. Okay, so final draw of the night. Let's do a number between 10 and 65. And which dystopian sci-fi do you think best represents what it will be like when the robots do rise up? Let's go with that. 10 to 65. And which dystopian sci-fi do you think best represents what the world will be like when the robots finally rise up? Number 1, number per person. Do not delete or change your number. We only shipped US addresses. You must be present to win, and your answer to the question and the numbers have to be in the same comment for the valid entry. 10 to 65, and which sci-fi best represents what it will be like when the robots rise up. A lot of Matrix, well, some Matrix, a lot of Terminator, iRobot. Yeah, blackmailing sounds like a Black Mirror episode, but then again, it's every day in a way. Technology advancing so fast. I feel like it's coming. At one point, I felt like I was joking when I said the robots are going to rise up, and it feels more and more like it's inevitable to happen for real, which is kind of scary. Got to start figuring out how to deal with that. Fire all the nukes long before that happens. I know Nick has put me in the damn pod already, so I can live and build Fighter's universe. It's nice to play electronics just in case. Music is playing in the background. Right now, the song is Last Adventure A. Mortis, Binting, Alan J. Reed, and Michael something. To read about creative virtual reality said about AI in the 80s. Pretty accurate now. Oh, really? Or to keep saying thank you to ChatGPT after you use it, so it may remember that you were nice to it. Friendliness of Wall-E, the strategy of war games, persistence of Terminator, and the helpfulness of iRobot. It scares me, but also I'm excited to see what happens. I just hope it happens in my lifetime. We'll see the first country with AI as a prime minister or president. Eight fingers. You'll know with 8 fingers. Maybe it'll be like that. Was it The Wild Robot? I haven't seen that movie. We watched that a few weeks back. As for Failing Movie Night, it was pretty good. A26. Maybe better than what we have at the moment. Couldn't be worse. Want to watch The Wild Robot? Then go check it. It's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind a kit or two from that movie. AI takes control of the country and starts fixing everything to reach a utopia level of wealth and health for everyone. I don't know if we just went through this exercise of realizing that AI has humanity's flaws based on how it kind of works, then that won't happen. It will just continue screwing things up. We're all wrong. AI will see the futility in existence and end itself. I feel like those movie endings where they talk the AI into shutting itself down somehow seem more realistic based on what we're seeing. Could cause the AI to become depressed and pull its own plug. I figure out how to take over as we speak. A 28 and 17. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna finish this foot and leg, and then I will call time. Yeah, get freedom and having to exist with us. Paul Cobain. It's true. I imagine if the AI president starts blackmailing the whole country, we already receive a bill for the blackmail tax. I don't know. It doesn't seem feasible to me. Equal parts exciting and terrifying. All I know is I need an AI to sit through hold music for me and navigate the annoying menus that some phone systems have that you have to go through to get past their AI to a human. I feel like an AI that can do that would be more valuable than just about any other AI. I would totally pay a monthly subscription to have access to a service that could call whoever and get me through the menu. Google showed that off, did they? That's ironic, because I feel like Google is the worst to get a hold of if you're trying to get a hold of a human being over there. Google shut it off. I haven't seen it since, like 3 years ago too. Yeah, they shut it down because they realized people would use it against them to get through to a human there somehow. Like a concierge AI service that can get you to whoever or whatever you need to talk to, you know? Yeah, politician who outs all politicians' secret affairs and dirty dealing. Yeah, 2028. So, video of a robot trying to go crazy, almost attacking 2 workers. Straight there, it was scary. It looked like a one-punch robot. And I was thinking of trying the AI smart glasses. No, wasn't there already a set of glasses products some years ago? Google Glass and whatever. I thought those didn't go anywhere. Google Glass turned me off to the whole idea. All right, one more piece. No. Two more. I missed one. B6. And B4. One more piece and we are here to midnight, folks. Trap in. I don't think so. I'm pretty tired. I'm looking forward to getting to bed. Finish the firefighter on this RG I'm working on. Solid timing. Core fighter. Sleeps overrated. You get enough when you're dead. I don't know, man. I've had these headaches for like a couple weeks now, and I think a lot of it is just not enough sleep. Zowort, I can't wait for the kit to arrive next week. Nice. It's been a fun kit so far. One more piece is like one chapter, one more episode. I suppose that's true. Best switch worker kit for me so far is Ilfrith, Nevada, and Schwartzet. I haven't built either. Probably won't end up building the Nevada because it's P Bandite kit, right? About his peep, yeah. What's up, no bite? I'm just gonna finish up this leg and then I'm gonna call time and draw hopefully a winning number. finished the RG full armor unicorn today. Great to get so many weapons. There's a lot of stuff on that kit. All right, second leg done. Yeah, just having an intense symbiotic relationship. Every time we use AI, we were making it better. We were training, improving it just by using it. All right, let's see. Time is called. I'm sure that's surprised it could stand other than a loose arm joint. It was pretty awesome. Okay, 10 to 65, 16. Really? No 16? Is that true? What's up, Victor? No winners? Okay, let's try again. 60. I don't believe there's a 60 either. Can't do a lucky draw giveaway. I'm not living in the US. 15. I don't see a 15 either. This is gonna get ridiculous. Pick 39. 22. Didn't enter basket number. Let's see, 22. No 22. Don't buy a lottery ticket tonight. 39. Per no bites request. Of course, there's no 39 either. This is almost like that time where a dude won and said pass, and then it came back around him again. No, but I don't think you did, because I don't see a 39 in the log. Didn't enter, right. 58. You have to run out of numbers eventually, right? There's no 58 either. $54. Okay, let's see here. D-Man 254. Ashley. Of course, everybody picked 54, right? So is that two? Ashley and D-Man 254. How many rolls is that in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was the 7th. All right. Ashley and D-Man. Ashley called heads already. So if it's heads, Ashley wins. Tails, D-Man wins. So I flip the coin, catch it, put it in the back of my hand. If I drop it, I will reflip. Here we go. And it came up heads. Congratulations, Ashley. You can send an email to support@mechawarehouse.com with your info, and we'll get that sent out as soon as we can. So that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out and watching. Hope you guys had a good time. Went by pretty darn fast as usual. Don't forget, we got a sale going on this weekend over at mechawarehouse.com. Use code MEMDAY25 for 15% off in-stock items. So if you didn't win, you can go grab an RG Exia of your own or a bunch of other things for 15% off. So take a look. And otherwise, we should be back next week, same time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be giving away something else, probably finishing up this kit and all that good stuff. So again, thank you guys all for watching. See you next